were in my favor. I had 'em 5-1. And that nag to win came around the track. Sure enough, we had won.
Mavericking, nice horse for Chris Block. When I rode him here a couple starts ago, I was just never able to get him tucked in. He just didn't fire. You know, sometimes horses, they don't, it's not their day. You know, they're just like you and me. They don't fire all the time, for whatever reason. You know. In the paddock, when I talked to Mr. Chris, he told me, he's like, you know what? He said, and we were from the outside again. As soon as you leave the gate, he said, just grab a hold of him. He said, just drop him in. He said, just stay on the fence as long as you can. Stay on the fence no matter what. He said, I don't care if you get stopped. Don't go around. Stay on the fence. He said, if you get stopped, that's on me. So I said, all right. I said, I think I can handle staying on the fence. When we left the gate, you know, he's always a real strong horse, and being, you know, I was outside in the 10 hole, I wanted to try to get to the fence just as fast as I could. Last time when I rode him, I was, you know, hung out and not able to tuck in. And so, you know, as soon as we left there, I just grabbed a hold of him as quick as I could and dropped down on the fence, because he always runs better on the fence. So he gets in a bit real good, and if you drop his head, you know, he'll drag you up there. And he's only got you know, a short spurt of run, so I just wanted to keep him back there as far as I could and just save him for as long as I could and just stay on the fence. And you know, coming up down the backside, you know, I just stayed, just let him relax, and just stayed where I was, kept a good hold of him. And you know, I was glad, because I looked up and looked like, you know, there was a lot of speed up there. There was a bunch of horses hooked up on the lead. So you know, that was good. I knew that those horses had to come back to me. The only thing I had to worry about then was finding somewhere to go and not getting stopped. So when we headed around the turn, I kind of just, you know, I let him out slowly, let him start picking up as we went around the turn. And coming to the top of the lane, I was looking around. It was kind of a tight, you know, it wasn't sure quite where I was going to go at the time. You know, there was a couple of tight spots, but I just wanted to stay tucked down there as long as I could.
Went in 1-12-2. Primo has led them a long way. I Am the Sheriff comes gunning now for Primo. And Mavericking with a flying finish up the fence. Here comes Mavericking. Mavericking up the rail. Mavericking got it. Mavericking! And Tim Thornton timed that to a T.
I just wanted to stay tucked down there as long as I could. You know, it kind of got tight right here. I thought there was going to be a hole, but the horse on the outside, the 6, kind of drifted in a little bit, so I was worried about the horse on the fence, you know, not shutting him off. But I was able to squeeze through there. I had so much horse that he just exploded through all the holes in a hurry. And once I got through that spot, I was home free.
Thank you, Mr. Chris. I sure appreciate it.
Good job.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
You know, I've been having a little bit of racing luck, and you know, just things have been looking up. You know, I had a lot of nice horses to ride that day, and all the horses ran the way that they were supposed to, and I was able to get to the winner's circle 4 times. It's the most wins I've ever won at Arlington Park. I've actually never even won more than 4, so that's been tied my biggest win day of my career. You know, you just got to get lucky and be on the right horses and be riding for the right people, and you know, and be lucky. Well, I rode Spanish Comedy, owned by Vanessa Nye. You know, and I talked to her in the paddock. She's telling me, oh, I was talking to Kitty this morning. I went by and I went and seen her, and she's like, yeah, that's the horse's nickname. And I registered, you know, I forgot, because every time I talk to her, she never calls him, you know, Spanish Comedy. She calls her Kitty. I've won on the filly, you know, I won on her at Hawthorne at like 30-1 or something. That was on the dirt. The race was on the grass, which I was a little concerned, you know, about the race being on the grass. But, you know, when we left the gate, she handled it fine. So my worries kind of went out the window when I still had a ton of horse when we returned from home. Quiet determination, big, strong, good-looking gray horse, trained by Mr. Louis Russell. Last time, you know, we got a little bit unlucky. We got, you know, I got nailed at the wire, just got beat last jump, you know, but you know, he was one of those seconds that turned around, turned into winner, you know. I ended up having a good trip. I was able to sit in behind horses, and you know, he finished strong for me. Fighting Mean Mad, very talented filly, trained by Larry Ravelli. You know, when she left the gate, she kind of hesitated just a touch when she left, but she just was so much the best that she was able to make the lead. And clear before I even hit the turn. She was like pricking her ears a little bit, and I knew she was doing it so easy because she was, she was just cruising around there, and she's a really talented filly, and I'm looking forward to getting to ride her again. Soaring Pegasus for Mike Rivas. Being the favorite, I wanted to make sure that I was in a clear spot, not to have any of the horses, stopping in front of me later in the race. I had the one horse on the outside of me. I kind of had got outside the horse in the lead, and right here you can see how he's, trying to lay on me a little bit. He was trying to push me down, and I didn't want to. I wanted to try to stay up, outside of those horses, because I looked like the best horse in the race. I started asking my horse to pick it up, but I had the horse that just kept laying on me all the way around the turn, and so those horses started coming back to me a little bit, and I kept feeling, I kept getting all the pressure from the outside, and when we turned for home, my horse is, he's kind of a big horse, so I just kept riding him and tried to stay outside the, the 6 like I was trying to do the whole way around there. We bumped, a little bit, but that was just part of racing. So my horse, he finally went on and edged clear and ended up the best horse that day. Galloping back, I seen that there was a claim of foul against me. I wasn't too concerned about it. I didn't feel that I was in any wrong at all. I felt like I was just holding my ground. So I had to get on the phone and talk to the steward. I was letting him know that the horse was kind of laying on me the whole time, and he was trying to hold me in. The outcome ended up that the number stood, and I had a good day. I won 4. Hopefully I can win 4 more, a couple more times. We had a crawfish boil. My favorite thing to do. This was the 6th crawfish boil we've had so far this year. Can never get enough of them, and you don't get them all the time, So it's nice. You have them flown up. We picked them up right here at the loading dock. We had them flown in. We went to Cisco Torres' house. Lots of times I'll do them at my house, and I've got my whole setup there. They're a little mild when you send them, because they ship them all over, but I like them spicy, so I season them up pretty good. So yeah, you always take and boil a few pots of crawfish first. You got to do that. Get the water good and all seasoned up. Get that crawfish flavor in the water, so you can throw all your corn and your potatoes and let it soak up all that good, all that good seasoning and spices and flavor. I always like to mix up a couple sauces that I make. I think it's a little bit, a little extra to dip your potatoes or crawfish or all of it, whatever, whatever you want. I normally, when I order it, I try to order about like 5 pounds a person, and then I always get like an extra 20 pounds. And it never bothers me if people don't show up, because that means it's more for me. You never want to run out. So, that's never a good thing. That's like the worst part of crawfish boils, when it's over, when there's no more crawfish. That's the only bad part about crawfish, is when they're gone.